Today we are getting really real. Let's talk about what it's like to build a business, show up every day, 10, 12 hours sometimes, and still not be making any money. Because I've been there. I might still be there depending on the day. And nobody talks about this part enough. I've seen it. I made $3 million in 2 months. I made $100,000 in a day. It's out there. And yes, well, not money like that, but is big money possible? Yes. 100%, hands down, yes. But that's not what everybody's going to get in this space. It's just not. Welcome to Random Candace Thoughts, where I say the things that people are thinking but won't say out loud, sometimes deep. And that's what we're going to get into today because we are always real here. And the fact that all across social media, we can see these claims, these big claims from people about money they've made or houses they've bought or whatever in a short amount of time. And it's like, what? This can't be real. That's what we're going to talk about. A real, a vulnerable, and a motivational conversation about what it feels like when you're putting in all the work and showing up and doing all of the things and you're still broke. This is just the real part of entrepreneurship where you start to wonder if you're delusional or if it's just not your time yet. Let's start with the I thought I'd be further by now thought. There's this expectation when you start a business, especially online, that if you work hard, post consistently, and follow the formula, you'll make money. But what happens when you do all of that and nothing clicks? You watch other people blow up. They book clients, tons of followers, they land brand deals, and you're just over here trying to figure out how to stretch the $200 that you have in your bank account to next week. You start thinking, did I miss something? Like, am I the only one that's not making money right now? And the absolute worst one that pops into your head, maybe I should just give up. And let's be honest, people assume you're successful because they see you. But showing up online does not always mean you're getting paid. I mean, platforms don't pay anything, barely. You really do have to find other ways to make money online. What about when that little voice in the back of your head with the quiet doubt starts to creep in? You know, the stuff nobody sees. The up until 4 a.m. questioning if you're even good at this, which was me last night. Hence the podcast today. I was up till 4 a.m. The night before, I think I slept 4 hours. But it's constantly in your head when that doubt creeps in, when that little voice is like, are you good enough, really? Maybe you're just wasting your time. And you watch others celebrate their wins while sometimes you're holding back tears and you're hoping, praying, even if that's what you do, that it's all going to work out and that it's just going to take time and hoping that something changes soon. You start second guessing everything, your message, your content. I mean, an entire idea. And even though everybody's path is completely different, it still hurts when that little voice creeps in and tells you that you're stuck. I have been there and I was just there last night. And I'm sure that there will be days in the future that I will still feel like that. It's part of the game. But there are things that have kept me going, and it hasn't been motivation. It hasn't been money. It's been the quiet moments, a DM from another Nana that listened to my podcast about my grandson Oliver and grief and how that helped her, or a comment left on a thread saying, "You see me." The people that saw something there when I couldn't, my family, my friends, my business partners, the days where I told myself, just don't quit today. Like, just make it one more day. I had to redefine what success really looked like. And for me, sometimes it was just showing up, even when it sucked, even when I didn't want to, even when it felt pointless and I didn't know what I was going to say. I still needed to show up because even when it's not paying off in dollars, it's paying off in growth. It's paying off in community, and it's paying off in proof to myself that I can keep going. Quick story. I had a career in the Air Force before I started creating content. I was in the military for 21 years. I got out, I retired, I had a video go viral on TikTok, and I just, long story short, jumped in to learning literally anything and everything I could about being a content creator and making money online. I found a digital marketing course. Ooh. Not all courses are bad. And if you want to buy a course, talk to me before you buy one. I'll recommend one. Random Candace Thought. Don't buy an overpriced course. Anyways, the courses I purchased were wonderful, and I highly would recommend them. But along the way, there were people that had taken the same course as me that were turning around selling the course and making millions and millions of dollars and charging outrageous amounts of money for mentorship. If I told you the amount of money that I spent in the 3 years building this business, you would ask me why I didn't quit. It's really easy to feel like an imposter. It's really easy to want to give up. And it's really easy to think that you're doing something wrong. But in all those late night years, I realized that I was just different. I needed to do things differently than them. I needed to grow a different community. I needed to build a different empire. I had a different path. And some days I still feel that imposter syndrome, but now I'm able to reframe my mindset and reframe my brain to remind myself that I'm different and I'm me and I'm not them. Their path is theirs and my path is mine. So let's jump into the learning corner today. I want to highlight something that I personally have been trying to do in my life. And the way that it ties to this topic is that it's okay to try something new. It's okay to learn how to build something with zero guarantees. That's not something you'll find in a course or a checklist. It's just the kind of learning you only get by doing it scared. So right now I'm exploring new ways to monetize stuff like affiliate partnerships, reaching out to brands that we actually use, creating digital freebies and to build my community and to bring value without being crazy overly polished and costing $500. And when I'm pitching to brands, there are Google searches that ask, how do I pitch myself without sounding desperate? But what I've realized is even when the money isn't there yet, the skill building is and the experience is. And what I've realized is even when the money wasn't there yet, the proof that I could do it was there. The proof that I could figure it out as I was going was there. When I first started this podcast, I didn't have a fancy setup. I have this mic, which I got on Amazon, my iPhone, Zoom, CapCut for editing, a story, and a lot of overthinking. But I showed up, and now I look back only 10 episodes in, but I realized it was just the beginning of something that really mattered to me. And it wasn't perfect, but it gets better every week because I choose to keep learning and growing and getting better. Even when it looked like it wasn't going to work or something wasn't going to fit right, I chose to keep going. So if you are in that season of trying something new, researching, not making any money, even if it's messy, even if nobody's clapping yet, you're still building something real. And don't ever let anybody take that away from you. And speaking of reminders of things that truly matter to us, Oliver's Light, where I share something meaningful in honor of my grandson, Oliver, who passed. And building this business while grieving his loss has made me rethink some things. There were days when I couldn't do any of it. And honestly, some days I didn't. There were a few days where my business partner was posting for me, helping me out, collaborating. But then I think of Oliver and I remember that even though his life was short, it mattered so much and so deeply. And I'm again reminded that impact doesn't always look like visibility or income. Sometimes it's just showing up with heart and love and patience and just showing up, being able to have the time to show up. There's no amount of money that you could give me to take that. My time is worth more than any amount of money. And if that's all I can do today, then that's enough. And if that's all that you can do today, it's enough. If you're not in that same season, congratulations. You made it. You did it. And if you find yourself back there again one day, just remember that you did make it through once before. If you're going through it right now, trying, building, hoping, it's okay if it's not paying off yet. You're not behind. You're not a failure. You're not alone. Entrepreneurship is freaking hard, but it's also brave and it's very personal. So if nobody has told you this lately, you're doing a lot better than you think. And I'm proud of you for not giving up. And I'm proud of me for not giving up. If you are building and barely breaking even, I hope that this episode gave you some peace or made you feel a little less crazy. That is a wrap on today's episode of Random Candace Thoughts. You got a random thought of your own. Make sure you share it with me on social media at Just a Marketing Chick or Just a Florida Chick. You can also drop it in the comments right down here in the show. And if you loved this episode, don't forget to subscribe and leave a review. It helps more real people find our random thoughts. Until next time, stay random and keep chasing those dang dreams, even when you're not making any money.